So let's check out my top 5 versions of Gwen Stacy. Our first Gwen Stacy is, of course, Gwen from Earth 616. Widely considered to be the main Marvel universe, this universe is similar to our world with respect to most historical events, but has some noticeable differences. Gwen's creators were Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, and she first appeared in comics in 1965. She's depicted as an ordinary girl and Peter Parker's first true love. He met her at college, where she's a beauty queen and one of the popular girls. Throughout her story arc, she is unaware that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. She finds out only just before her death. Their love story is a difficult one, with many disappointments and misunderstandings, but her sudden and controversial death helps Peter understand how much he truly loved her. Stacy played an important role in Peter Parker's development as a character, and her death is often said to be the end of the Silver Age of comics and the beginning of the Bronze Age, with more realistic problems and deeper, darker issues developing within comic book plots, and more of the tragedy of the real world depicted. Writer and editor Jerry Conway decided to get rid of the Gwen Stacy character and created a storyline in which Stacy died when Green Goblin drops her from the George Washington Bridge. There is also a very controversial story about Gwen's affair with Norman Osborne, the Green Goblin's alter ego. The short version is that she became pregnant with twins and Osborne considered them to be his heirs. Gwen's decision to raise the child with Peter Parker and to prohibit Osborne from seeing them caused her kidnapping at the hands of the Green Goblin and eventually led to her death. The second version of Gwen Stacy we'll discuss is from the alternate universe designated Earth 1610, otherwise known as the Ultimate Universe. This is the story told in the Ultimate Spider-Man series, and in this version, Stacy had no close affection or romantic relationship with Peter. After Gwen's father, Police Captain George Stacy, was murdered by a burglar wearing a Spidey suit, Gwen was taken in by Aunt May, creating even more tension between Peter and Mary Jane. Gwen had befriended Peter after an incident where she pulled a knife on Kong, a classmate who was bullying Peter. In this universe, Peter was in a romantic relationship with Mary Jane, although his friendship with Gwen did make Mary Jane very jealous, eventually leading to a temporary breakup. They both mourned Gwen's death when Carnage, a life-sucking parasite, killed her. However, Gwen was sort of recreated and showed up on Peter's doorstep one night. I don't want to spoil too much, so if you'd like to know more, then give this series a try. This version of Gwen Stacy was created by Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley in 2001. Our third version of Gwen Stacy is Spider-Gwen from Edge of the Spider-Verse from 2014, created by Jason Latour and Robbie Rodriguez. Seen here commenting on a very good video. This version of Gwen Stacy is interesting because she's Spider-Woman, so the radioactive spider bit her and not Peter. Peter was her classmate, a gifted but bullied young man as he is often depicted. He was inspired by Spider-Woman and longed for superpowers, so he started some dangerous experiments, and he turns into the Lizard and eventually dies. His last words were, "I just wanted to be special." The comic is not based around Peter Parker's story, but around the world and life of Gwen Stacy and her female friends from the Mary Janes, a rock band. As Spider-Woman, Gwen fights crime within her universe and also travels to other worlds and meets other versions of Peter Parker on a variety of occasions. The fourth version of Gwen Stacy is the character from the crossover The Age of Apocalypse from 1995. In this series, Gwen is not a superhero, neither is it the story of Peter Parker. In this crossover, the main theme is devoted to the X-Men, while Gwen is an American exchange student in Paris who, during a serious illness, meets Dr. Donald Blake, Thor's alter ego. In this story, Dr. Blake is unaware of his divine background and superpowers, as he has not discovered them or his hammer. When he saves Gwen's life and treats her, she becomes his bodyguard in his fight against the forces of Apocalypse. In the crossover, Gwen Stacy is not a lead character. However, she plays an important role in fighting against the Apocalypse and in saving Europe from devastation. connection. And our fifth entry is a very touching reference to Gwen Stacy in the miniseries The House of M from 2005. In this universe, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he has been living a married life with Mary Jane. However, he still mourns Gwen, who died at the George Washington Bridge during his fight with the Green Goblin. Years have passed since, but the Scarlet Witch uses her powers to bring changes into Earth 616 for her own reasons related to the controversy with the X-Men, and allows Peter the life he's always dreamed of. Thus, Peter Parker finds himself happily married to Gwen Stacy and having a little son. This suggests that Peter has always longed for Gwen to remain alive, and thus she's been the love of his life, whatever editors, readers, or creators might have said. When the spell is lifted, Peter returns to his previous life in Earth 616, where he is married to Mary Jane, but the memories of his alternative life, of his life with Gwen and their son, remain. This dramatic scenario was created by Brian Michael Bendis and Oliver Coipel. And that wraps up our top 5 versions of Gwen Stacy. Why is Gwenpool not included? Well, for one, Gwenpool is not based on Gwen Stacy. She was originally a cross between Gwen Stacy and Deadpool. However, her origin within the comics have absolutely nothing to do with either Gwen Stacy or Deadpool, for that matter. And also, I've been promising to do a Gwenpool video for literally years, and I don't know why I should, change anything now. Start actually doing what I say I'm going to do. I might accidentally be successful, and we don't want that. This video was made possible by our lovely patrons on Patreon. You can support the channel at patreon.com/fancyteeth and get a video made in a topic of your choice for as little as $1 a month. If you can't afford Patreon, then you can still be a huge help by sharing this video on Twitter, Facebook, or Reddit. You can also come chat with me directly on Discord, link in the doobly-doo. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and until next time, be kind to each other. I'm Jay Parks.